Hey, my chosen furries and families. So, this is a touchy subject, but it's also a subject that is like very near and dear to my heart. Heal not only for yourself, but heal for your children. Because when we don't tend to heal for ourselves, our children get caught up in the crossfire. Whereas we're supposed to be pouring into them, uplifting them, and building them up, edifying their spirits. We're failing to do that because of the brokenness in us. Now, I was a parent who was there. I worked a lot of hours. And yes, I would tell my kids, hey, if you need to talk, I'm here. I'm always here. But then in the same breath, I wasn't. I was broken, very broken. And so the way I was trying to heal myself was in a relationship, whereas I should have been pouring into myself. I was expecting this person to give me what only I could give myself. Whereas I should have been pouring into myself to be able to pour into my children. That is where I was lacking. I am beyond grateful that I allowed God in to heal my heart, because that was the only way I was going to be able to heal. And my mission is to build the greatest bonds with my children. I know the Lord wouldn't want me to feel guilty, but I do at times, because I felt when my children needed me the most, I was there, but I wasn't, if y'all understand what I'm saying. It's like now that I'm in this different space, I just want to pour into my babies. I want them to not have to go down the same paths that I went down. For them to know that everything that they think they want or desire or need, it's inside of them. It's with God. God has everything that they need, want, desire. The key to unlocking everything that God has for you is to come into His presence, is to surrender your way, your will, your everything to Him. Now that I'm in this space and I'm aware, I'm seeing how important it is. How important it is to just be healed. When you're healed, you look at things in a total different perspective, a total different light. When I was broken, I was looking at things through this. Like, what is it? Like you see right now, I have on glasses. If my glasses was cracked right now, it would be a distorted view of what it is that I'm looking at. And that's how I was when I was broken. I didn't see things for what they was. I took offense at things. Didn't recognize blessings and abundance. All these things that God was trying to get me to see, I did not see at the time because of the cracked lenses. Now, as y'all see, my lenses are very much intact. So I'm seeing life in the world in a total different view. I'm seeing things that I never saw before. I'm looking at situations that before I would have looked at them in a negative light. Now I'm looking at them in a positive light. So when I say that healing is very important, it's beyond important, especially if you have children, because it doesn't just affect you, it affects your children. Whatever it is that you're going through in a broken state, it's the same thing that they're going through. That's where I'm at right now. Seeing my children, well, I've seen both of them go through things that I had exposed them to. I've seen both of them go through things that I never wanted them to go through. And a lot of times I ask myself, why? Why couldn't I have just done it? Why couldn't I have just done it like it was supposed to be done in the first place? But then, you know what? I have to think about, maybe it was for a reason. You know that before we are brought into this world, that we was already thought of. Our life was already predestined. Our names are written in the book of life. That is what our Heavenly Father. So He already knows the things that we're going to go through, good and bad. And the reason why I'm speaking about this is because I know sometimes, like I said, you wonder, why am I going through this? Why did I have to go this route? Why did I have to go that route? Why did I have to do X, Y, and Z? Don't get it. Well, if you really think about it, Satan, and this is the thing, we have been taught that Satan just has all this power and this control, and actually he doesn't. You know who has the power and control? Is God. God even controls Satan. Looking in the book of Job, Satan was roaming around, doing his own thing, trying to see what type of trouble he can get into. And yes, I'm paraphrasing, but trying to see what type of trouble he can get into. Came before the Lord. I'm saying, Lord, like, what you about here doing? Doing what I do best, causing trouble, creating havoc, trying to see what type of trouble I can get into. And do you know what the Lord said? Have you considered my servant Job? So don't sit up here and tell me that God doesn't have the power and the authority to allow Satan to bother you at certain moments in your life. And He's not doing it for punishment. What He's doing is He's allowing Satan to come up into your life to bother you so that he could shift where it is that you thought you was going and shift you into the correct direction of where he always intended for you to go. But Satan, he's so silly, he don't even realize how he's being used. And so upon me reading that, it made me think of like, okay, why did I have to go through this? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? But it was for a reason. It was for a purpose. The Lord knew that there was going to be purpose behind the things that I had gone through. He knew that in me going through situations as far as like domestic violence and not loving myself, not validating myself, just allowing people to do things to me that should not have been done. He knew that that was going to be a part of my purpose, that I was going to turn around and be like, you know what? No more. The things that I've learned, it has me, first and foremost, my mission is to make sure that my children do not continue to keep making the same choices and decisions that I make. For me to know that I'm the generational curse breaker, that the things that have been going on in my family from back in the day to me, to my children, no, it stops like right here. When my grandchildren come into this world, it will be no more. So it's like, yeah, sometimes I get into my feelings and I upset, and sometimes I still feel guilty for why did I expose my children to the things that I exposed them to? Why did I put myself into certain situations that I put myself into? But now I realize that, you know what? Just like they say in Romans 8:28, that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his will and purpose, I believe. I believe I didn't butcher that. So what was meant to break me, what was meant to harm me, actually aligned me for purpose. It aligned me to stand up, to step up, to share my experiences, to help my children to heal, to help other women to heal. You know, that's another thing too. Like, sometimes we don't want to share what we've gone through with our children because maybe we are embarrassed and we're ashamed. But why should you be embarrassed and ashamed? That was the part of your story. It's something that you used to do, but you're not doing anymore. And even if you are doing it, you still shouldn't be ashamed of it. You should use it as a teaching moment. You should teach your children. You should talk to the people who are in your circle to share with them. Hey, this is what I did. And you know, these are the results that came from it. You know, maybe by you sharing what it is that you've gone through, you will prevent somebody else from going through it. You know how, like, when I grew up, when I was growing up, I was just told, don't do that. But it's like, why not? Why am I not supposed to be doing it? You know, maybe had I gotten a story behind it or further explanation as to why I wasn't supposed to be doing it, maybe that would have really deterred me from doing it. But we all know that when you tell a person don't do it, what do? They do the exact opposite. As soon as you're like, oh, don't do that, it's like they're so intrigued with finding out why. Why? Especially if you're not explaining to them the reason as to why they shouldn't do it. That's going to make a person want to do it even more. So, heal for your loved ones. Heal for your children because they're watching us. I know I used to tell my kids all the time, do as I say, not as I do. But I realized that my kids was doing exactly as I was doing. In their mind, it was like, if it's good enough for you to do it, then why can't I do it? So that does not work. Be the example. Show your children the way to go. You know, like I said, if you don't heal for anybody else, first, yes, heal for yourself first, but heal for your children who are watching you, who are following in your footsteps. 9 times out of 10, they're going to do exactly what it is that you're doing. They are going to be affected by the choices and decisions that you choose to make in your life. So help them to be aligned with what it is that God has for their life by first you doing the work by healing. And then second, even if you're not all the way healed, but you are healing, share your experiences. Tell them exactly what it is that you've gone through. Be open, be vulnerable. I just wanted to get on here and share that with y'all. Healing is the best thing that you can ever do for your life. So many of us, we walk around with a chip on our shoulder, bitter, angry, just upset over the things that have happened in life. And sometimes I still don't be understanding why people have done certain things, why they act a certain ways. But I know that saying, which is not just a saying, it's true. Hurt people do hurt people. And unfortunately, if people do not take the time to heal, then they're going to bleed over everybody that they ever come in contact with, whether they're doing it on purpose or not. And unfortunately, there's some people who, when things happen to them, instead of them learning from what happened, not only learning from what happened, but taking responsibility for what happened. Because let's take me. I could sit up here and be upset over the things that people have done to me, but at the same time, I wasn't a victim. I was a willing participant. I was very much a part of things that was going on. I played a part. So I have to take ownership for that. I have to take responsibility for that. I have to hold myself accountable for the part that I played in things happening. It's so easy for us to be like, oh, they did this, they did that, they did X, Y, and Z. Like, to never hold yourself accountable ever at all. No, there is going to be a time where, yes, it might be totally somebody else. But there's going to be a point in time where you're going to have to look within and be like, some of the things it's me. It's me. And I know that's a very hard thing to deal with, because I could go on and on and on and on and on. This could be an all-day video, 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour, however long. Man, we could just go on and on and on. So I realize I'm going to have to come back and break this thing up in parts, because, like I said, number one, this video could be all over the place. Number two, this video could go on for days with me just going into every little thing that I have gone through. But the gist of this video is to do the work, to heal. Because it's not just about you, it's about the people that is connected to you. Like I said, if you have children, you don't want to no longer continue to keep showing up in that broken space. Because what do you think that you are teaching them, and what do you think that you are showing them? They're going to continue to do the same thing. And then what happens? The cycle is never broken. So I love y'all. Let's get to healing. We're not normalizing hurting people anymore. We're normalizing healed people, healing people. It's a proven fact. Once you start healing, and once you start looking at life in a different perspective, it makes you show up differently. It makes you want to pour into other people. It makes you want to, what you're feeling inside, it makes you want to extend that to other people, and you want other people to feel that. There's no way in the world that you could walk around healing or being healed and see people who are hurting and broken and not want to be a part of their healing. So I love y'all, and I'll be back.